It's an ancient, unseen evil, living evil that doesn't exist in our world, but in the spaces between. It has a few names, but to its modern-day victims. It's best known as the Kandarian demon. It's an invisible, parasitic thing that roams the dark with an endless hunger for life itself. It's summoned by a very specific book, and its arrival is always a party, just not for anyone with a soul. But what exactly is this entity? Where did it come from, and what's its terrifying endgame? The mythology of Evil Dead is a glorious, gory mess of cursed books, demonic entities, and time-traveling heroes. The story stretches back thousands of years before Ash Williams ever set foot in that fateful cabin. So, join us as we break down the complete history of the franchise's biggest and baddest villain. Section 1. The Ancient Origins of the Evil. Our story starts in darkness, long before recorded history. The Kandarian demon isn't a monster from any specific human mythology. It's a primordial force unique to the Evil Dead universe. It's described as a living evil, a foul and shapeless thing that lives between spaces. It can manifest as a rushing mist, or possess things like trees to hide from the daylight it hates. Before it ever got the name Kandarian, it was a spirit that resented humanity. It discovered that it could corrupt the souls of the living and the dead, twisting them into its own personal army. But it wanted more than just souls in the afterlife. It wanted to unleash hell on earth. So it developed the power to send these corrupted spirits, these deadites, back into our world to steal bodies and drag souls to an early damnation. Section 2. The Dark Ones and the creation of the Necronomicon. To understand the next part, we have to talk about the Dark Ones. These weren't demons, but a race of ancient, godlike beings who once ruled the earth and were masters of dark magic. The Dark Ones weren't on the same team as the Kandarian demon. In fact, they wanted to control and weaponize all supernatural evil. So they created a Tula grimoire bound in human flesh and inked in human blood, full of funerary incantations and resurrection spells. They called it the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead. This is a direct nod to the fictional book created by author H.P. Lovecraft. This book was their masterpiece of evil. It contained the rituals to control demonic forces and open portals to other worlds, but they messed up. The same spells meant to bind the evil could also be used to unleash it, making the Necronomicon the most dangerous object in existence. The book became a cursed artifact left behind after the Dark Ones were banished from our world. Section 3. The Deadites, puppets of the evil. The Kandarian demon's frontline soldiers are the Deadites. And it's important to know, these aren't just zombies. They are parasitic demonic spirits that possess the living, or even the recently dead, and feed on their souls. Once someone is turned, they become a grotesque puppet. Their flesh rots, their eyes turn white, and their bodies twist into inhuman shapes. They get supernatural strength, the ability to levitate, and a horrifying resistance to pain. Often, the only way to stop a deadite is complete bodily dismemberment. But their real terror isn't just physical. Deadites seem to operate with a cruel, shared purpose, often speaking as we or us, all serving the demon's will. Their goal isn't just to kill, it's to torture, maim, and feast on the souls of the living, spreading their infection like a plague. Section 4. The Modern Era. The Cabin and the Nobi Tapes. For centuries, evil lay dormant, its story fading into myth. The Necronomicon, the key to its power, was lost. That is, until the 20th century. Professor Raymond Nobi, an archaeologist, discovered the ancient tome, this particular copy, called the Natrum de Monta during a dig. Not knowing its true nature, he brought the book to a remote cabin to study it. That was his first mistake. The second, and most fatal, was translating the passages out loud and recording himself on a tape recorder. By speaking the words, Nobi performed the summoning ritual. He woke the living evil and unleashed the Kandarian demon on the woods around his cabin. The entity possessed his wife, Henrietta, and then it waited for the next group of unlucky kids to arrive and press play. 5. Ash Williams and the Prophecy of the Chosen One. That next group, of course, included Ashley J. Williams, and his arrival wasn't an accident. It was a head-on collision with destiny. For all its evil, the Necronomicon also contains prophecies. It speaks of a lone warrior, the Chosen One, fated to battle the darkness. Ash, the houseware's employee from Ismart, was that hero. His transformation from a scared kid into a deadite-slaying legend is the heart of the story. In Evil Dead 2. After losing his friends in his own hand, he fully embraces his new role. The book opens a time portal, flinging Ash and the Kandarian demon back to 1300 AD. This time loop shenanigans confirms. Ash is the prophesied hero from the sky who would lead humanity against the army of darkness. The conflict is a cycle, an endless fight between the demon and the guy who just refuses to stay dead. Section 6. The nature of the entity's power. Possession and psychological torture. What makes the Kandarian demon so scary isn't just what it does to the body, but what it does to the mind. The entity is a master manipulator. Its favorite weapon is using the memories and voices of its victims against the survivors. A deadite doesn't just attack you. It wears the face of your sister or your lover. It taunts you with their voice, turning sweet memories into tools of torment. The famous line, "I'll swallow your soul," isn't just a threat. It's a mission statement. The demon thrives on chaos and fear. It wants to break its victims mentally before it consumes them. That iconic first-person rush through the woods is the perfect visual for its nature. A relentless, unseen force that you can't fight or reason with until it grabs a host. It can possess trees, objects, and even your own reflection. This shapelessness makes the Kandarian demon an inescapable nightmare. It isn't just in the woods, it's in your head. Section 7. The bigger picture, Ash vs. Evil Dead, and beyond. The mythology got even bigger with the TV series Ash vs. Evil Dead. In the show, we meet Ruby Nobi, who reveals she's one of the ancient Dark Ones and the original author of the Necronomicon. This was a huge retcon that brought the ancient history of the demon crashing into the present, showing that the Dark Ones were still a threat. The show also introduced other demons, hinting at a more complex demonic world than we'd seen before. The franchise also made it clear there isn't just one Necronomicon. The events of Army of Darkness showed Ash finding 3 books. And the director of Evil Dead Rise later confirmed that these are 3 distinct volumes. This is how the evil could be unleashed in a Los Angeles apartment building in Evil Dead Rise, far from the original cabin. Each book is a key, able to unlock its own brand of chaos, but they all serve the same dark forces. The evil isn't tied to one place. It's tied to the books. From ancient, forgotten times to a high-rise in LA, the story of the Evil Dead demon is about an eternal, primordial evil. A living evil that predates humanity and sees us as nothing more than puppets for its cruel games. Whether you call it the evil, the force, or the Kandarian demon, it's a being of pure chaos, unleashed by the cursed pages of the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. It creates deadites, twisted monsters made of flesh and fear, to do its dirty work, all to satisfy an endless hunger for souls. And through it all, one man has stood against it, a flawed, loudmouth hero with a chainsaw for a hand. But even he can only ever buy us some time. The book can be buried, and the evil can be banished, but the entity just returns to the spaces between and waits. It waits for the next curious person, the next grieving soul, or the next idiot trying to impress a date to read the words aloud. The evil is never really defeated, it's just on pause. Why? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the gory lore of Evil Dead, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns of your favorite horror myths. Let us know in the comments, what makes the Kandarian demon so terrifying to you? Is it the body horror, the psychological games, or the fact that it's just so relentlessly evil? We'll see you in the next one. Until then, maybe don't read from any weird-looking books you find in a basement.